Learning objectives. After completing this module, learners will be able to describe the cities under colonial rule, differentiate between Shah Jahanabad and British Delhi, explain the making of Delhi, discuss the life in the time of partition, differentiate between Haveli and bungalow, enlist the reasons for the decline of Havelis. Cities under colonial rule. What happened to the cities under colonial rule? Modern cities emerged with the industrialization in most part of the Western world. Calcutta, Bombay and Madras were the centers of trading for the British. They rose as presidential cities. Old trading centers and ports were shut down as all routes were diverted to the British presidential cities. De-urbanization took place in many cities in 19th century, and those cities were Machipatnam, Surat and Seringapatam. How many Delhis before New Delhi? Delhi has been the capital for more than 1,000 years. Shah Jahan built the most splendid capital of all. The construction of Shah Jahanabad had begun in 1639. Shah Jahanabad consisted of a fort palace complex and city adjacent to it. Lal Killa and Red Fort were made up of red sandstone and comprised of palace complex. Chandni Chowk and Faiz Bazaar were the main streets that had broad roads. During Shah Jahan's time, Delhi was an important center of Sufi culture. Delhi during Shah Jahan's time had several dargahs, khanqahs and idgahs forming a Sufi cultural center. Jama Masjid was the biggest mosque of the city. It was regarded as the highest place in the city. Making of New Delhi. In 1803, the British government established their control over Delhi after defeating the Marathas, and the modern Delhi developed after 1911 when it became the capital of British India. Demolishing a past. In the first half of the 19th century, the British lived along with the wealthier Indians in the walled city in Delhi. Urdu-Persian culture and poetry was enjoyed by British, and they even participated in local festivals. In 1792, Delhi College was established, and it led to the advancement in the field of science and arts. After the revolt, the British started a mission to rid the city of its Mughal past. They demolished several palaces, closed down gardens, and built barracks for troops at their place. For security reasons, the area around the Red Fort was completely cleared of gardens, pavilions, and mosques. Mosques in particular were either destroyed or put to other uses. 1/3 of the city was destroyed and its canals were filled up. In the 1870s, the western walls of Shah Jahanabad were broken to establish the railway and to allow the city to expand beyond the walls. The civil lines area was established in the north of the city. This was the place where the British began living. The British constructed a new city known as New Delhi, south of the old city. But as a complete contrast to the old city, New Delhi became the center of power. The old city, meanwhile, was pushed into neglect. Planning a new capital. After the revolt of 1857, many events took place in Delhi. In 1877, a darbar was organized by Viceroy Lytton for the acknowledgement of Queen Victoria as the Empress of India. In 1911, when King George V was crowned in England, a darbar was held in Delhi to celebrate the occasion, and the decision was taken to shift the capital of India from Calcutta to Delhi. Edward Lutyens and Herbert Baker, architects, were also called on to design New Delhi and its buildings. New Delhi was made the capital from Calcutta, and the construction of the city started from the ground level. Different designs like Buddhist stupa for the dome of Viceroy's Palace and jhalis from Mughal architecture were introduced. New Delhi was built in 20 years. The idea was to build a complete contrast of Shahjahanabad, that is a city without narrow streets and iron canals. Life in time of partition. In 1947, the partition of India resulted in a large movement of population on both sides of the border. This transition of people resulted in increase of population in Delhi, change of jobs, change in the culture of Delhi. Scenario in Delhi after independence. Thousands of people in Delhi were killed. Homes were looted and burned. Homes of Muslims who left for Pakistan were occupied by Sikhs and Hindus who came from Pakistan. The streets of Shahjahanabad were full of refugees who roamed in search of empty homes. Muslims were pressurized to sell their properties. Delhi became a city of refugees. Occupation of the people changed. Earlier, people were artisans, traders and laborers. But the new migrants were lawyers, teachers, traders and small shopkeepers. The urban culture in Delhi was based on Urdu. It was overpowered by new taste in dress, food and arts after partition of India. Inside the old city. The excellent system of water supply and drainage was adopted in the 19th century. The system of wells and channels which were used to remove household waste were demolished as they were damaged. The Shahjahani drains were closed by the end of the 19th century and a new system of open surface drains was introduced. The decline of Havelis. In the 17th and 18th centuries, the Mughal aristocracy lived in grand mansions called Havelis. Havelis had large walled compounds with mansions, courtyards and fountains and many families living in it. Many of the Mughal amirs were unable to maintain these Havelis under the British rule. As a result, Havelis began to be subdivided and sold. The colonial bungalow. The colonial bungalows were different from Havelis. A bungalow is a large single-storied structure with pitched roof, usually made in 1 or 2 acres of open ground. They were meant for nuclear families. Bungalows had separate living, bedrooms and dining rooms with a wide veranda in the center. Kitchen, stables and servant quarters were in a separate space, away from the main house. The municipality. In 1931, the census revealed that New Delhi had only about 3 people per acre, while the walled city area was crowded with as many as 90 people per acre. The poor conditions in the walled city did not stop it from expansion. In 1888, Robert Clark planned the extension scheme called the Lahore Gate Improvement Scheme for the walled city residents. In 1936, the Delhi Improvement Trust was set up and it built areas like Daryaganj in South Delhi for wealthy Indians. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. In the late 18th century, Calcutta, Bombay and Madras rose in importance as presidency cities. Shah Jahan built the most splendid capital of all. Shahjahanabad had begun in 1639. During Shah Jahan's time, Delhi was an important center of Sufi culture. The British wanted Delhi to forget its Mughal past. The areas around the fort were completely cleared of gardens, pavilions and mosques. After the revolt of 1857, many spectacular events were held there. In 1877, Viceroy Lytton organized a darbar to acknowledge Queen Victoria as the Empress of India. In 1911, when King George V was crowned in England, a darbar was held in Delhi to celebrate the occasion, and the decision was taken to shift the capital of India from Calcutta to Delhi. In 1888, an extension scheme called the Lahore Gate Improvement Scheme was planned by Robert Clark for the walled city residents. The